Bum 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 bum. A bum 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 bum. A bum 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 bum. Hello, hello. How is everyone doing? Stephanie, have I told you about the happy song? Have I given you that info yet? Because if I haven't, you should probably put it on your favorites list of Spotify now. Okay. It's called The Happy Song, and it's by Imogen Heap, and it's like, it was made, specifically with like brain chemistry of babies in mind to like calm them down. Good morning, Ray. And it doesn't always work, but it usually works. Good morning, Ray. Morning, Anya. So you might just want to have it, your baby hated it. Okay, so yeah, definitely not everybody. Ours loves it. It's how we get through car rides pretty much. Hey, Liz, I think we have other babies in this group who loved it. Liz, was Brandon a happy baby or a happy song baby? The Imogen Heap song? I think Ray's kids were, right? Who else was? Yeah. Definitely worth looking up. Hey, Jen. Hey, Sophie. So I don't know where we're gonna end up sitting today because she's like not asleep, but she's in a pretty docile mood. So I don't know. We'll see. She keeps putting her head down, so I'm like, oh. Morning, Samantha. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We slept the whole night. Well, not really, but almost did. Being a friend and half hour for lunch. That's always fun. First you called me when I took her, gave me a good love share. I know, right? You're like, whatever. Inside, she's a huge fan of my friend Logan's. Oh, well, we love that. Inside, she was a huge fan of this whole playlist that we had. And then she came out and she kind of, I don't blame her, Liz. I would too if I was there. I'd have you come hold this one. But yeah. Yes, it's funny. A Whole New World was her favorite song when she was inside. She came out and she doesn't love A Whole New World. No. Really, your head? Good morning. Just your right kidney, though, yeah? My brother and sister's dad only had one kidney when he passed, so, you can survive without one for a while. I need at least one. Yeah, no, at least one. I agree. You should have at least one. Sad, empty pistachio sleeve. No pistachio Nespresso for mommy. Distress. That's so sad. All right, well, what am I gonna do instead? I guess I can do Vivita. We'll open our new Vivita sleeve. There we go. Enter Sandman, Metallica. That's amazing. That's like my nephew. Ethan loves stuff like that. Do you have the Chalk Zero? I do. But I'm just not in the mood for it right now. I wanted the pistachio. That was the mood. Oh. Very nice. Very nice. Really, my crumble pins. Are you so grumbly right now? Finally ordered one of the dark chocolate. Oh, nice. I'm gonna get all the foam out of here before they come over. Spill. We're trying to lock her face and do it at the same time. Just get a mess. Made a mess, sweet girl. Made a mess. Mommy spilled. hazelnut. I think that's the one I have right here. Yeah. Oh no, I have the milk chocolate hazelnut. Alright, well, close enough. Close enough. How's everyone doing on this fine Thursday? I bet. Anything interesting going on for anyone? Liz's son started school today. For the first, he's at kindergarten. It's his first day of kindergarten. It was exciting. I feel like Becca should just set her phone up in front of Ellie since we're going to read something kid-friendly. Okay. Let's clean up Mommy's mess. I start school on Monday. Very exciting. Mommy made a mess. We have re-entered coffee will not stay down phase. Boo. This is your kid pitch. Wait, what's kid pitch? I don't know what that is. Tell me what kid pitch is. I'm interested. Does Mommy want baseball? That's cute. We might put her in softball because my husband was a very good. No more of this either. We're just running out of everything left and right. It matters. I finished my owl kit. You finished your owl kit? What's an owl kit? What's an owl kit? My sweet girl, what's an owl kit? What's an owl kit? Let's do the owl kit dance. What's an owl kit? Boop-a-doo. What's an owl kit? Boop-a-doo. We're a little askew. What's going on here? Let's fix your seat. Fix that seat. No piggies in the rings. No piggies in the rings. No. Oh, cross-stitch kit. Very cool. Why is that such a bop? Isabella, you sound like my goddaughter. She always says that whenever I make up a song. She's like, honestly, it's a bop. And then she starts dancing. I'm like, are you making fun of me? She's 14, so she could be. Owl kid. Give me an O. Give me a W. Give me an L. It's owl kid. Okay, that's all I got. That's all we're getting for the day, you guys. What's an owl kid? Thank you, Isabella, for your vote of confidence on my songwriting skills. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Let's have a sip without spilling. Okay. All right. Let's go to the tripod. Let's keep the camera over here so that I can hold the coffee and not have to cover her face. Let's put the tripod on the phone. Nope. Let's put the phone on the tripod. Close, but not really. Okay. Okay, we're here. We're here. Are we sitting? Are we sitting? All right, bye. See you later, Liz. Have fun. Shawarma bowls are delicious. I don't see a problem with that at all. Okay. She's not mad. Good morning, Cindy. Glasses? Yes? She's still not mad yet? Oh? We got our glasses on and we're seated. You want to rest your head on Mommy? You see Screen Mommy? There she is. There's Screen Mommy right there. You see her? Yeah. Did you know that you can sleep? Yeah, you could. Hi. Hi, beautiful. You want to rub noses? Do you want to sleep? Do you want Mommy to stand up and rock you? She did think that was funny. She, I will check it out after this, Roxy. She might fall asleep if I stand, and then I can sit down for longer because... No? You're not gonna... Do you like it better when I sit? That's unusual. Thank you, Isabella, for being my one replay. No. Okay. All right. It was worth a try, though, right, you guys? We'll go to the mat. We'll go to the mat, sweetheart. We'll go to the mat. I thought you were tired. I really did. I did. It's okay, though. It's all right. It's all right. Look, here. I mean, things happen. It's okay. It's okay. Wee. Boo, 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 boo. What's this? Okay. Let's bring the book, the rest of the bottle she was working on. I decided to make a matcha latte today, and sure as heck is not comparable to my coffee. That's funny, Sophie. Sometimes I like matcha. I will agree. Let's back up. Back it up. Beep, 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 beep. Are you guys ready for some Tower of Terror action? I hope you are. In 3, in 2, and... All right, here's one more. We got one more round. In 3, 2. I look really weird from this angle. That wasn't bad. That was fairly smooth overall, right? I'm getting fairly good at that. Okay, so I have the rest of your bottle if you want it. You have until 9:20 to finish it before it's no good anymore. Because I made it at 8:20. You have boogies? Is that a boogie? She's like, don't touch my nose, Mom. It's not yours. These are my boogies. You can't have them. You think that's silly? Mommy can't have your boogies? I was fairly smooth at my phone balls. That's funny. Okay. If Nikki's here, I'm not sure that she is. The baby has decided that knocking this box of books that she sent us over is her favorite new thing. She likes to get all the books out. These books are far beyond, you know, baby's reading comprehension, but she thinks them falling out of the box is funny. Boogie Wipes, that's a good one. I use Boogie Wipes. I also use Boogie Wipes diaper cream spray for our diaper bags because on the go, it's convenient. They're in little bottles like this and they're sprays. So not only do you not have to touch anything, they fit in the diaper bag very conveniently. So just a note. And it's good stuff. It works. Yeah. Yeah. All right. She is like just chill over there. She's like laying on her side looking at her toys. So we're just gonna go. She's like tired but doesn't want to sleep. She just wants to like look at things. So fine. Live your life, baby girl. Live your life. I'm happy for you. Honestly, as she turns into a toddler, if she wants to do that for book club for the rest of her life, I'm gonna do homework while listening. That sounds great. You have a decade of using it. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good stuff. Yeah. All right, we're almost done with this book, y'all. We have less than 100 pages left in this book. Less than 100 pages. We're on the edge. Here we go. Today we are going to read chapter 20, which is called Heart of Stone. One more sip of coffee before we go. I also like e-names. Heart of Stone. The wolves led the twins and Goldilocks across the dead and deserted land. They walked for miles and miles across the rocky ground, never stopping for anything. The wolves kept a close eye on their captives, and if the twins had so much as breathed too deeply, they would get a threatening growl. The wolves had confiscated Goldilocks' sword and Alex's bag so that they couldn't get the wishing spell items. Alex closely watched her bag being carried in one of the wolves' mouths. Everything she and her brother needed was in there. Their chance at going home was just a few feet away, and yet out of reach. The twins didn't know if they were more angry or scared. Just minutes before, they had been positive they were on their way home, and now they didn't even know where they were going, or if they would even survive whatever was ahead. Being so afraid gave them an odd sense of courage, though. They were being taken prisoners by one of the most infamous villains of all time. They didn't see how things could honestly get much worse. The area they were traveling through seemed foreign even to Goldilocks, who, the twins were certain, had seen every part of every kingdom. Her eyes darted around with as much curiosity as the twins did. The land looked different from the rest of the sleeping kingdom, and this land didn't seem to be sleeping like the rest of the kingdom did. Hey, Amanda. This land seemed to have been murdered. My daughter randomly asked you. Oh, she loves her. That's so sweet. She's right here. She's playing with her toys. You can hear them. This land seemed to have been murdered. A decrepit castle finally came into view in the distance, and it was made of stone, but it looked frail so much that a strong wind might knock it over. Alex and Connor knew without having to be told that this is where the wolves were taking them, and somewhere inside, the evil queen was waiting. We're barely just one page in, Amanda, so you're totally fine. The wolves have captured them, and they're just riding on a cart, and they're in an area of the sleeping kingdom that they're not familiar with. That's literally all that's happened. They reached the front of the castle, and Malumclaw howled. A rickety drawbridge was slowly lowered, and a towering man with a graying beard dressed in several layers of animal skin greeted the wolves. "She's been expecting them," the huntsman said, and the wolves guided the twins and Goldilocks over the drawbridge. As soon as the twins entered the castle, they wanted to leave it. It was dusty and cobweb-filled, and it didn't make for a pleasant welcome. The huntsman pushed the twins down a stony corridor, through a large set of doors that creaked horribly, and into a long, great hall. The great hall was empty, except for a few chairs and a small table. Red Riding Hood was tied to one of the chairs with a large white scarf tied around her mouth. Her eyes were teary and puffy. She was excited to see the twins at first, happy not to be the only prisoner, and then she began to panic under her restraints when she saw Goldilocks and the wolves behind them. The huntress stood next to Red, keeping a careful watch over the fidgeting queen. In the middle of the room, facing two tall mirrors, one gold and one black, was a hooded woman. She was very still and very silent. "Seat them," the woman said. Still with her back toward them, and without any doubt the twins knew this was the evil queen. They could just feel it. They had never been so tense in their entire lives. The huntsman and the huntress forcefully sat Alex and Connor and Goldilocks in the chairs and tied ropes around their torsos, hands, and feet. "Easy," Goldilocks said, glaring at the huntress, who tripled her knots. "Did anyone ever tell you it isn't nice to kidnap other people's hostages?" Red let out a high-pitched cry and mumbled something along the lines of, "This is so unfair." The twins now understood why she had a handkerchief in her mouth in the first place. Yeah. "We've brought you the twins plus a bonus, Your Majesty." Malumclaw lowered his head in a scornful and mocking bow. There was a heavy tension between these two. "Did anyone escape?" the evil queen asked. Just an overgrown frog and a horse," Malumclaw growled. "Then we don't have much time," she said. "Put the items on the table." The huntsman seized Alex's bag from the wolf carrying it and placed it on the table next to the twins. The evil queen had her own collection of witching spell items on display. A lock of golden hair, a chunk of Red Riding Hood's basket, and the other glass slipper. "A deal is a deal," Malumclaw said. "We've brought you the twins. Now you give us Red Riding Hood." Red Riding Hood whimpered and said something like, "Why is this happening to me?" through the handkerchief. "You will have her when I'm finished with the children," the evil queen said. "Now you wait outside." "That wasn't part of our bargain," Malumclaw bellowed, and his pack snarled behind him. "I said wait outside," the evil queen ordered, and her voice was so overpowering that the twins felt tears form in their eyes just from the mere sound of it. "You can have Red Riding Hood, Goldilocks, and the children when I'm satisfied." The wolves were infuriated, but they left the hall and they waited outside the castle. "Empty the bag," the queen ordered, and the huntsman did as he was told. He pulled out all the items that the twins had collected and one by one placed them on the table's surface. Lock of hair, glass slipper, chunk of basket, stone crown, vial containing a fairy tear, the spindle, the jewels, and the knife. Hey, it's right here. Really? "We need those," Connor said, squirming inside the ropes. "Why do you need the wishing spell anyway? Don't you have powers or something?" Hey, what's wrong? Here, look. Look. You have all these toys. Here. You want that one specifically? Okay. Live your life. The only powers I have are the powers of intimidation, the evil queen said. What's the matter, baby? You want this? Here. The only powers that I have are the powers of intimidation, the evil queen said, and she turned away from her mirrors to look at the twins. She wasn't the vicious monster that they had expected. She was still very much the woman from the portrait in Snow White's palace, but she had been weathered by time and fatigue. Her face was plain, but it was a plainness that had so much potential for beauty, had time and circumstance allowed it. Her eyes were dark and bleak, and she seemed empty and cold, down to her soul. The evil queen walked over to the table and observed all the wishing spell items. She picked up the vial that held the fairy tear and stared into it. As soon as this tear touches this table, the wishing spell will be mine, she said. And seeing the evil queen near all these items they had worked so hard to get infuriated Connor from the inside. He wanted to go home, and he wasn't about to let her stop them. If they weren't going to get to use the wishing spell, well, neither was she. Connor struggled against the ropes with all his might. It was painful, but he managed to get one of his feet free. He kicked as hard and as high as he could and knocked the vial out of the queen's hand. The vial flew across the room, and the evil queen's eyes watched it as it soared away from her. "Catch it!" she demanded, and the huntsman ran as fast as he could and threw himself on the ground with his hands extended to catch it, but the vial hit the dusty stone floor inches from his fingertips, and it shattered. The tears sank into the stone and vanished. The evil queen stared at Connor. Her face didn't move or express much, but the slightest movement made Connor very aware that she was enraged. I know, wouldn't that be amazing if she could play with the baby morning, Brittany? I know you want to see the puppy, huh? Okay, do you want to sit up? You want to sit? Here, you can sit. There you go. You can sit with mommy. Look, here, I'll hold you up with my legs. There you go. She needs me. She was enraged. "Stupid boy," the evil queen said, and she struck him hard across the face with the back of her hand. Child abuse. Connor's whole body shifted at the blow. "Connor," Alex said. "I'm fine," Connor said, and he slowly lifted his head straight to look at the evil queen. The whole side of his face now began to swell. "How long will it take to retrieve new fairy tears?" the evil queen asked. "Days, your highness," the huntsman said, getting back to his feet. "The fairy we caught only screamed when we tried to collect tears from her. None were produced. If my daughter left now, she could be back before sunrise, maybe 2 days from now." "We don't have that kind of time," the evil queen said softly to herself, and she promptly turned around and faced the mirrors. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, how much longer till the forces invade this hall?" she asked, and the reflection in the black mirror became very cloudy and condensation began to drip down the glass. "Connor, look, it's the magic mirror," Alex said, and the dark silhouette of a man appeared in the mirror. A low and hoarse voice filled the great hall. "This castle offered my queen a sanctuary for weeks, but an army now approaches, led by a frog who speaks. They move quickly in this direction, ready to attack, and they've joined forces with a cream-colored horse and a man named Jack." "Jack?" Goldilocks said. Red tried to say. "Soldiers are coming," Alex whispered to her brother, "and Froggy's alive. He got them to help." "Those are probably my soldiers coming," Red mumbled. "They're coming to rescue me and slaughter the rest of you, especially you," she said, giving Goldilocks a dirty look, and the evil queen's eyes drifted from her mirror to the mirror of truth and watched Alex through the reflection. She stared at her through the mirror, absolutely mesmerized. It was the most expressive the twins had seen her since they arrived. "Well, what should we do, your majesty?" the huntsman asked, and the evil queen ignored him. Her attention was fixated on Alex. "Why is she looking at you like that?" Connor asked. "I don't know," Alex said with a trembling jaw. Everyone knew that the evil queen had never cared too much for young girls, and Alex was afraid she would be the next victim offered a poison apple. "Your highness, what are your orders?" the huntsman pleaded. "If the soldiers are coming, we must leave." No, the evil queen said. I'll be finished before they arrive. Now I wish to be alone with these children. Take the others to the dungeon. The huntsman was hesitant, but he and the huntress partially untied Red and Goldilocks and shoved them toward the door. Hey, watch it, Gramps, Goldilocks said. Do we get our own cells? Red mumbled. You can't put me in a cell with her. You might as well just give me to the wolves. The door slammed behind them, and the twins were left alone in the great hall with the evil queen. Alex, Connor whispered to his sister, I don't want to sound cheesy, but no matter what happens, I just wanted to say that I love you. You're the best sister that I could have ever had, and these last several days have been the most extraordinary of my entire life. Don't do that, Connor, Alex said, holding back tears with all her strength. You're saying goodbye. Don't say goodbye. We'll be okay. The soldiers are on their way, and they're going to save us. She didn't know which one of them she was convincing. They'll save us. Unfortunately, no one can save you now, the evil queen said. So, are you going to kill us then? Alex asked, and the evil queen was silent. She didn't move a single muscle. Why are you even doing this to us? Connor asked. Why are you so evil? Oh, the evil queen said. The age-old question. What makes one become who they are? Well, let me ask you this, children. What makes you not evil? Well, we were raised right, Alex said. We had 2 wonderful parents who taught us how to be good people, and we believe good things happen to those who were good at heart. So you were environmentally influenced into being good people? That's precious, the evil queen said. You said you had 2 parents. What happened to them? It made the twins sick to hear her ask something so dear to them. Our dad died, Connor said. Not that it's any of your business anyway. Oh. Was he a good person? Was he good at heart? The evil queen asked. Yeah, he was the best, Connor said. I see, she said. Then he was wrong, wasn't he? Surely a good person would never have had such a tragedy happen to him. He must have taught you a lie. What are you getting at, lady? Connor asked. I had parents once, too. They taught me a similar lie, she said. And the twins glanced at each other after hearing this, and the queen saw surprise in their eyes. Oh, shocking, isn't it? That someone like me had parents, had a life, had loved ones, the evil queen said, becoming lost in thought. So if you had decent parents, then who screwed you up? Connor asked. Or were you just born miserable? The evil queen's eyes fell to the floor. Oh, much like you two, I was environmentally influenced into being who I am today. And she turned her back to the twins and faced her mirrors again. I'm going to tell you a story, children. A story that has rarely been told, the evil queen said. I doubt there's a story we don't know, Alex said. No. Mm-mm. You don't know this story, she said. It's mine. Alex and Connor looked to each other nervously. Did they even want to hear this story? You're doing great, honey. You're doing some great climbies. Once upon a time, there was an enchantress, the evil queen began. She was unlike all the fairies and witches that had ever lived before her. She lived without consequence and lived on desire and desire alone. She gave herself anything and everything she wanted, never caring how or who she hurt by doing so. Many years before I was born, the enchantress decided she wanted the world, and so she sought it, one kingdom at a time. There weren't as many kingdoms to... Really? Hey, you want to sit up? You want to sit up? Up? You want to read your dragon book? No? No dragon book? Okay. Do you want to have this? Yes? 2 hands. This one takes 2 hands. Okay, there you go. There weren't as many kingdoms to conquer back then, especially after she put Sleeping Beauty's kingdom under a sleeping curse. Very late one winter's night, 2 villagers heard banging on the door and found a young maiden shivering on their doorstep. She was just a child and she was exhausted from running. She had just escaped from someone, or something, but the villagers couldn't ask her questions because she began delivering the child right then and there. The maiden died giving birth to the child that night, and despite the mystery surrounding the maiden, the villagers adopted this child, and it was a baby girl, whom they named Evely. Evely? Alex asked, and her eyes grew wide. The evil queen ignored her and continued the story. Evely grew up to be a very beautiful young woman. She was kind and good-spirited, and everyone in her village loved her, especially one young man her age, a boy named Mira. He was a poet, and he used to recite poems to her all day by the edge of a lake, a little ways from their village. Evely tried to impress him with her own poems, although they were never very good. She would say to him every day, "Mira, Mira, by the lake, my heart is here and yours to take." They used to laugh together and hold each other in their arms until dusk every day. The two fell madly in love, and they were engaged. However, on the eve of Evely's wedding, the enchantress came for her, claiming that she and her birth mother belonged to her. The enchantress killed Evely's adopted parents and took her into the far northeast to this very castle. Evely became just one of many slaves who belonged to the enchantress. She had very big plans for the newest edition, and Evely was groomed to marry Prince White, the future king of the North Kingdom, and the enchantress would control the kingdom through her. But Evely resisted, of course, because her heart only belonged to one man. Mira looked for Evely for years and eventually found her. They wrote letters to each other and exchanged them through the bars of Evely's cell. The enchantress ultimately discovered the letters, but the enchantress was smart, and she knew if she killed Mira, Evely would be inconsolable and thus worthless to her. So instead, she imprisoned Mira inside a magic mirror for eternity. Evely was heartbroken. Here you go, honey. I know you're heartbroken for Evely. You want this one? "You're Evely," Alex said. "The man in your mirror, he was your fiancé?" Connor asked. "Yes," the evil queen said. "I became Evely, the evil queen of the North Kingdom. It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? People tend to be creative when they're condemning others." "So that's how you became a queen," Alex said. "No, not exactly," the evil queen said, glaring at her. "From the moment Mira was trapped inside the mirror, I refused to continue with the enchantress's plan. I still pretended to go along with it, gaining her trust and becoming a protege of sorts. She kept a room full of potions here in the castle, and I spent hours of every day in that room, immersing myself with the substances, learning everything about them. I concocted a poison so strong and deadly that the trees and flowers for miles and miles were killed after 3 drops hit the ground outside my cell window. I was positive that it would bring the enchantress to her end, and it did. The poison weakened the enchantress to a state of ailing human. She ran from the castle and died somewhere in the forest nearby, unable to take care of herself without magic. I freed her slaves from the castle, including the man who would later become my huntsman. The one person I wasn't able to free, however, was Mira. He was trapped inside the mirror, and there was no way to get him out. I traveled all over the kingdoms for years, seeking help from every witch and fairy, but no one knew how to free a man from the mirror. The curse was so strong. Seeing the man I loved every day through layers of glass, unable to touch him or kiss him or hold him, was unbearable. I was heartbroken, more than heartbroken. The pain was so deep that I could barely breathe. I was sure that my heart would eventually stop beating if I didn't do something for it. So I found an old witch named Hagatha deep in the dwarf forest, and I begged her to help me. She, like everyone else before her, could do nothing about the mirror, but she treated my heartbreak. She cut my heart out of my chest and turned it into stone," the evil queen said. "Gross," Connor muttered. Why can't I see Sophie's comment? It's not like Sophie said, "I'm scared of how much I love." Oh, you got it already. Okay, that's why. We all love Chris Colfer, Sophie. And if anyone doesn't have a Chris Colfer fan club sticker from me yet, let me know, because they're free to book club members. Hey, do you want to be in the chair? You want to go in your bouncy chair? Yeah. Do you want to go in your chair? Oh, let's go in the chair. Let's go in a really nice chair. Let's go in our chair. Whee! There we go. We're in the chair with all our toys. Here they are. Oh boy! Oh boy! Yay! The book is linked right here. It's The Land of Stories by Chris Colfer. He is one of the best authors, at least of our lifetime, if not of ever. Yeah. Sorry. "Gross," Connor muttered.
She walked over to a stool on the side of her mirrors, and on top of the stool was a stone that resembled a human heart. Alex gasped when she realized what it was. I know, seriously, Brittany. Only when I touch the stone do I feel any heartbreak, pain, or emotion whatsoever, the evil queen said, and she picked up the stone and held it tightly in her hand. The evil queen's reflection changed in the mirror of truth, and as she held the stone, they saw Evely's reflection instead, the young and beautiful maiden that the evil queen had once been. The evil queen set the stone back on the stool, and her reflection changed back into the cold and hooded woman that she was today. Yes, you can, Naisa, just message me. Then, you really are heartless, Alex said. Why did you become a queen then? Connor asked. I figured being a queen and having a monarch's power would give me the authority I needed to find a way to free Mira, the evil queen said. Prince White became king and I had recently been married. Soon it was announced that his wife was expecting their first child. I decided to strike before the child was born. I used a love potion on the king and he became enamored with me. Well, that was easy, but getting rid of his pregnant wife, that was the difficult part. I poisoned her knitting needles and waited until she pricked herself. One cold night, while making a blanket for their future child, her water broke, and she pricked herself with one of the needles from the shock of it. She died, but her handmaidens were still able to save the child, and Snow White was thus born. A few months later, I was married to the king, and he was dead a few months after that. I was able to continue my quest to free Mira, but unfortunately, being inside the mirror for so long began to affect Mira. His mind, his memory, and his appearance all started fading away. He began speaking in verse, like his poems from when he was younger. He could see things happening in the world that were miles and miles away, but he couldn't even remember his own name. He was no longer the man. He was merely a reflection. Had my heart not been turned to stone already, watching the man I love with all my heart slowly forget who I was would have killed me for sure. I was getting older, and Mira barely recognized me anymore. I ordered every beautician in the kingdom to my palace and underwent every beauty regimen possible for years and years to preserve the little youth that I had left. Word of my new activities got out, and the kingdom criticized me, saying I was vain and obsessed with beauty. And as I got older, so did Snow White. She became more and more beautiful every day, and she longed to find some motherly companionship in me, but I had none to give. She used to sneak into my chambers and watch me undergo my preservation treatments for hours. One day, Snow White snuck into my chambers while I was away and discovered Mira in the mirror. She looked very similar to myself when I was her age, and Mira believed that she was me. For months and months, Snow White was all he could talk about. My queen is fair to see, but Snow White is far fairer than me, he would say. He had a new face and a name given to the love he felt for me. I wanted her dead. I ordered my huntsman to take her into the woods and kill her. She escaped, but I tried again and again to kill her myself. I was convinced Mira would come back to me once she was dead, but no, it was too late. My entire life had been spent trying to recover something that was taken from me so many years ago. However, I will never be martyred for that life. I'll be forever known as the vain queen who tried to kill the poor, innocent, and helpless Princess Snow White. Nothing more. The evil queen finished. But who wouldn't have gone to the ends of the earth to be reunited with the person they love more than life itself? Who wouldn't have ripped out their own heart to stop that kind of pain? Alex couldn't stop tears from rolling down her face. There were so many times after the loss of her dad when she'd wished the pain would go away. She may have turned her own heart into stone if she had had the option. She couldn't help but see herself in Evil Queen, and that was a little unsettling. I've done many terrible things in my time, but many terrible things have been done to me over that time as well, the Evil Queen said. So as far as I'm concerned, the world and I are even. But it wasn't you, Alex said. You weren't thinking clearly. If you had had your heart, you wouldn't have done all those horrible things to all those people. You're still Evely.
Think about how differently people would feel about you if they knew this story, Connor said.
The world will always choose convenience over reality, the Queen said. It's easier to hate, blame, and fear than it is to understand. No one wants the truth. They only want entertainment. The Evil Queen turned back to the twins and saw the tears running down Alex's face. She walked over to Alex and let one of the tears roll onto... Oh, I feel betrayed. Let one of the tears roll down onto her finger, and the evil queen stared down at the tear just as she'd done to the vial of fairies. A sentimental story always gets the same reaction out of girls like you, the evil queen said, and she flicked Alex's tear onto the table with the wishing spell items, and suddenly all the items began to glow, and the golden light began swirling above them. The evil queen had activated the wishing spell. I forgot that. Alex is a fairy, honey. She thinks that's funny. And the evil queen got a tear from her to activate the spell. No good. No good can come of this, honey. Ugh. The way we both guessed. I know. It's so funny that we both guessed as if we don't know. Nagisa. Well, you know what? You know what I have to tell you, Roxy? The thing about me is that I love the willing suspension of disbelief because I don't like spoilers. So even though I've read the book before, I try to clear my mind when I'm rereading something so I can feel it all over again authentically to the best of my ability. Like, that's the same thing I do when I'm seeing a show multiple times, like in the theater. I love the willing suspension of disbelief. It is what brings great joy to my soul. And if anyone out there seeing this either here or later watching it on YouTube is struggling with finding joy in the small things in life, may I encourage you to have the willing suspension of disbelief in your life, because you will feel those emotions all over again, just as Naisa said. You know what I mean? And it's so beautiful. There's always something I forget about books when I read it. It's so wonderful. Amazing. Wow. Wow, that was a great moment, huh? Hello. All right. How long is chapter 21? Will we be able to get through it before she... I mean, it's not short by any means, but she's in a good mood. So do we try to start? Do I give her this little bit of bottle that's left before it's no good? Here, look, sweetheart. Do you want the last of your milkies? If you turn around this way, you can have the last of your milk. I can't reach over there, but look at this. If you turn this way, look, sweetheart. Here you go. Yeah. Oh, milkies keep you happy, girl, huh? Can you hold it with 2 hands? 2 hands? You gotta hold it up like this, otherwise the milk doesn't go down. I say we try and... Yeah, I agree. We're gonna try. My brain is Swiss cheese, so I literally forget the book line. That's amazing. But at least you get to experience it again, right? Okay, you gotta hold it like this for the milkies to come down. Yeah. Now you're just getting air, sweetheart. You gotta get milkies. There you go. There you go. Yummy. Do you want to come out to drink? To be honest, no one wants the truth. They want entertainment. Like, I know, right? Right? Isn't that, like, especially with everything that's going on today? That's it. I'm putting my current book down and going to read this here. So I'm getting, yeah. Do you want to come out for a minute to drink your bottle, and then you can go back in? What do you think of that? You want to come out and drink? Because this isn't a great drinking position. You'll drink better from right here. Yeah. Here you go. And that'll make your tummy happy, huh? There you go. That's a better position. Let's see if we can read any of chapter 21. Keep it in your mouth, sweetheart. There you go. Okay. 21 is the mirror. What? Alex said. Her head was throbbing from being so confused. This doesn't make any sense. It needs a fairy tear. Wait. We can't let this happen, Connor screamed. We have to stop her. She can't use the wishing spell. The twins struggled and fought against the ropes, but there was nothing they could do because it was too late. The light rose off the wishing spell and the items began to circle around the queen. No! Connor screamed. Please don't do this, Alex yelled, but the evil queen took a deep breath. Wishing spell. I wish to free the man in the mirror, she said. And the light shot toward the mirror like lightning. The whole mirror was consumed in the light for a few moments before it faded. The glass melted away like ice on a warm day, and the mirror looked like a doorway into a very dark room. The twins waited with anticipation. The queen walked over to the mirror, keeping cautious distance from it, but nothing happened. She got closer to the mirror so that the twins wondered if she was going to climb into it. "Mirror?" the evil queen asked, and suddenly a man fell out of the mirror and onto the floor. His eyes were closed, his breathing was heavy, he was pale, and he seemed paralyzed, as if he had just awoken from a coma. This man was the plainest person the twins had ever seen. He had no distinct characteristics whatsoever. He had spent so much of his life reflecting others that he had lost himself completely.
"Ooh, where am I?" the man said between deep breaths.
He had enough energy to keep one eye open at a time, but not both. The evil queen picked up her heart of stone, and the twins could see the change in her face as her body was reunited with its soul. She was a different person now. She was a person now. "Mira, it's me. It's Evely. You're free," the evil queen said. Her voice was different while she held the stone. She spoke softly with love and affection, and tears poured down her face. The twins could see the reflection of the evil queen and the man in the mirror of truth. The reflections weren't those of the pale man and the hooded woman who were actually in the room with them. No, they were of two young people. One, the beautiful girl the evil queen had once been, and the other, a very handsome young man that Mira must have been before being imprisoned in the mirror. Evely cradled Mira in her arms and slowly rocked him. "You're free, Mira. You're free," she repeated softly. "I freed you just like I promised I would. I'm so sorry it took me as long as it did." The man opened both his eyes and stared up at her. She had only freed very little of him that was left. The rest of him faded away a long time ago. "Evely," he said, and a slight smile appeared on his face, recognizing the name. The smile lasted only a moment as his eyes fluttered shut and he stopped breathing. "Mira?" the evil queen said. "Mira!" Mira didn't move. He was as lifeless as he looked. His reflection disappeared entirely from the golden mirror. "No," the evil queen said. "No!" Tears were running down her face much faster. "No, please come back. Please come back." Alex and Connor became emotional at the sight of this. The evil queen held the body of the man in front of the mirror in a tight embrace. She sobbed into him, still holding on to her heart of stone. She had worked her entire life for this moment, but she was too late. "Oh! Oh! My God! Just stab us in the heart, why don't you?" Oh! Too late. It's awful, honey. It's just terrible. The wolves were starting to become impatient outside the castle. Many were pacing back and forth across the drawbridge, and others were lying across the entrance corridor. One was sharpening his teeth with Goldilocks' sword. I know, that's what I'm saying, Stephanie. Why do we feel bad for the evil queen? I mean, like, that's kind of the thing, though, right? Like what she said, like, circumstance made her that, you know? Like, having a villain origin story is a real thing. I know, you couldn't, like, give us 10 more minutes. I know, it's crazy, right? They had been waiting long enough for the evil queen, and they growled and grunted with restlessness. Suddenly, Malum Claw's ears perked up, and he looked to the horizon. There was a vibrating as something large was traveling their way. "What is that?" he asked. A cavalcade of soldiers stampeded toward the castle at full speed. The soldiers were dressed in silver and green armor that came from the Northern Kingdom. They were led by Froggy and Sir Grant, who were sharing a horse, and Jack was riding Porridge beside them. All the wolves jumped up. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll put you back in the chair. I'm sorry. You're done eating, and now you want to go back in your chair. That's fair. That's totally fair. I promised you could go back in after. I did say that. Here you go. No, but you have to put the feet in two different... The feet can't go in the same hoop. The feet can't go in the same hoop. The feet can't go in the same hoop. There you go. Okay. Are you ready to keep reading? Chris is an amazing author, huh, honey? Is he so good at writing books? Is he so good? I can't wait to read this to you once you understand it. Woo! That's going to be the best moment of my life ever. Yeah, I'm going to read it to you at bedtime when you're like 6. Maybe 7. Okay, 8. I don't know. But sometime. All the wolves jumped up. "All right, boys, we're done waiting for the queen," Malum Claw said. "We're going inside to get Red Riding Hood, and we're going to get out of here." All the wolves obediently howled, and they ran into the castle, and one of them pulled a lever with his mouth, raising the drawbridge. The soldiers assembled on the edge of the moat. "The evil queen, she's in there," Froggy said to Sir Grant. "The wolves are working for her. They took my friends." Evil Queen, Sir Grant called out in his booming voice. This is Sir Grant of Her Majesty Queen Snow White's Royal Guard. You have 30 seconds to surrender or we will open fire on the castle. The soldiers aligned in a row of cannons. Jack hopped off of Porridge and found Goldilocks' sword on the ground. She was there. Prepare the cannons, Sir Grant ordered, and his soldiers positioned the cannons facing the castle. Fire! A cannon blast raised the drawbridge into pieces. Raised the drawbridge into pieces? Interesting. Okay, fine, we'll go with it. The entire castle rattled from the hit. Prepare to fire again, Sir Grant ordered. Hold your fire, Jack yelled. There are innocent people in that castle. You can't fire until we safely get them out of there. I have reason to believe that Queen Red Riding Hood might be inside. Grant looked fearful. He couldn't have the death of an innocent queen on his hands. You have 10 minutes before we open fire, Grant told Jack. Get in there and save as many people as you can. And Jack nodded without hesitation. If the woman he loved was in harm's way, nothing was going to stop him from saving her. I'll go with you, Froggy said, and he secretly was alarmed at his own bravery, which had suddenly swept over him. You may be the hand, he said. He and Froggy hopped onto Porridge, and the horse took a few steps back and then charged toward the castle, jumping over the moat and through the large opening where the drawbridge had been a moment before. I know, you're very excited. Here, look. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. The castle's dungeon was small and had rows of several smaller cells. Goldilocks and Red's ropes had been, and gags. Well, if you drop everything, then what's going to happen? Are you on the edge? But this is such a good chapter, honey. You don't care that it's a good chapter? Ba 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 ba. Oh, you're gonna throw the llama. Do you want out? Do you want out? Up? 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 Whee! Do you want to sit in Mommy's lap while we read the rest of this? Do you want to? You want to sit in Mommy's lap and read the rest here? Why don't you sit right here? Whee! Here you go. Here you go. Their gags had been removed, but they weren't put in each other's cells, mostly so that Goldilocks wouldn't kill Red right before the wolves had their chance. The huntsman and the huntress watched over them like a father and daughter hawks. I just don't understand why my army hasn't rescued me yet. Shouldn't that be their top priority? Red whined. Oh, Screamy Head. Hey, 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 look, look, look. You know how to sit. You know how to sit. Look, just sit. You know how. Yeah, look. Here you go. Yeah. If Cinderella were kidnapped, none of this crap would be happening. Mommy has an idea. What if Mommy gets you a snack? You want a snack? You want a snack to crunch on? All right, let's get a cucumber maybe. Want a cucumber? Let's see what we have. Here, we can share this. I think this will make you happy. Okay. I'm going to turn it this way so she can sit in my lap and eat this. Yeah. There you go. Isn't that yummy? Wow, so yummy. Pluot. Very exciting Pluot. Can you hold it? Two hands. There you go. Very good. Sometimes I just bite the end off one because it's too big to cause her any problems, so she can just gnaw on the rest of it, and it works. Where was I?
If this were happening to Cinderella, none of this crap would be going on.
I outran your army. Like most things about you, your kingdom is incredibly slow, Goldilocks said. Besides, they've probably already elected a new queen by now.
That's not funny, Red said. This has been the worst day of my entire life. I didn't even know it was possible to be kidnapped twice in one day.
The wolves stormed into the dungeon and Red went white with fear. Soldiers are invading the castle, Malum Claw said. We're not waiting for the evil queen any longer. We're taking Red Riding Hood now. Get the queen, the huntsman said to his daughter, and the huntress nodded and ran down the opposite side of the dungeon and up a small stone staircase. She looked back before climbing it, not sure if leaving her father alone was a good idea. It's right here, honey. It's right here. It's right here.
Hey, look, look.
Yummy. She only wants the juicy parts. There you go. Yeah.
No, Red screamed. You can't let them take me.
She looked all over the dungeon, unsure of who she was even talking to. She didn't have any friends here. I'm just ready for this day to be over. Fine. You can take her, the huntsman said to the wolves, and he unlocked her cell, and Red jumped up and pushed the door open, knocking the huntsman back into the wolves. She ran as fast as she could to the other side of the dungeon and up the stone staircase that the huntress had climbed. After her, Malum Claw ordered, and he and his pack ran after the young queen. She managed to get a head start as the wolves had trouble fitting into the staircase. Moments later, Jack and Froggy emerged into the dungeon. Jack was wielding Goldilocks' sword. Stand back! Jack yelled at the huntsman, who backed into a corner with his hands up. Jack! Goldilocks said, clutching the bars of her cell. What are you doing here? Porridge found me, Jack said. I knew something had to be wrong because you weren't with her. She led me here, and I met up with Snow White's army on the way. They stared at each other so lovingly that it made Froggy uncomfortable. Splendid, then. I'll go find Queen Red Riding Hood on the twins, and you two can reunite, he said, and he hopped back in the direction that they had come from. The huntsman pulled a crossbow out from under his fur coat. Jack, watch out! Goldilocks screamed, and the huntsman began shooting arrows at Jack. He ducked and dived, barely eluding them. Goldilocks had to dodge the arrows, too. They were ricocheting off the stone walls in every direction. The huntsman moved like a machine, reloading his crossbow instantaneously each time they had fired. Goldilocks picked up an arrow that landed near her and began picking the lock of her cell with the arrowhead. Jack was trying to block the arrows with the sword. It was getting harder, though. The arrows were coming at him much faster. He hit one perfectly, and it flew behind the huntsman. The huntsman grunted and froze. His eyes bulged, and he fell flat on his face. The arrow had bounced off the wall behind him and was now sticking out of his back. The huntsman was dead. Oh, I forgot to put my glasses back on. Jeez. I knew something felt weird. Jack, behind you! Goldilocks yelled, and Jack turned around and the huntress stabbed him in the arm with her dagger. She had seen the whole thing. Ah! Jack screamed, and he dropped the sword and fell to the ground. He crawled across the floor and sat up against the wall. He was clutching his arm. Blood was everywhere. The huntress walked toward him with her dagger raised. She didn't speak, but she had pure rage in her eyes. As far as she was concerned, Jack had just killed her father. She swooped toward him for the fatal strike. Goldilocks blocked the dagger with her sword. She had picked the lock of her cell and repossessed her sword just in time to save Jack's life. Here. Sorry. I know it's rude to eat while I'm trying to read, but I have to bite it so that she can get to the juicy part again once she sucks all the juice out of that part. I think it's time that you and I had a little girl talk, Goldilocks said, and she kicked the huntress in the stomach. The huntress rolled onto the other side of the room and hopped back to her feet. Goldilocks and the huntress circled each other for a moment. They stared down each other, waiting for one to make the first move. Goldilocks swung her sword at the huntress, and the duel began. The huntress only had a dagger half the size of Goldilocks' sword, but she used it well. Goldilocks had found her match. They moved all around the dungeon, each shielding offensive strikes from the other. The huntress cornered Goldilocks, and Goldilocks ran up the wall and flipped over the huntress, cornering her now. Where'd you learn to do that? Jack asked. I'll tell you later, Goldilocks said, and the huntress headbutted Goldilocks and ran out of the dungeon. Here, look. Also, I hate to tell you this, Stephanie, but it's so gross having to bite the part that they've already sucked the juice out of. It's so warm and so disgusting, but I'm doing it for her. "Come back here," Goldilocks called out and chased after her. They continued the fight through the castle, climbing higher and higher as they went. Meanwhile, Red Riding Hood was being chased through the castle by the big, bad wolf pack. She was running for her life, and tears were streaming down her face. She had... What is it? She's sucking on a Pluot. It's this. Here. Can you sit up straight? It's better to eat if you sit up straight. Thank you. She had only been this scared once before in her life, the infamous day when she visited her grandmother as a child. Red wasn't crying from fear alone, although she was upset that she was getting one of her favorite dresses ruined. Red was also wishing that she had chosen better shoes equipped for running when she dressed herself earlier that day. She reached one of the highest levels of the castle. Areas of the floor had rotted away, and she had to be very careful not to fall through any of the large holes that would drop her several stories below. This is the strangest way to eat, my darling. The wolves behind her were not being so cautious, and they had a hard time getting traction on the smooth wooden floor and kept slipping into the holes, howling as they fell to their death. I need to find the link for the quiz. Can someone repost it so I can find it? Honey, what's wrong? Why are you so upset? Here. Let mommy reposition you and make a new bite. But you gotta stay sitting this way. Here, look. Here. There you go. They fell to their deaths. Red ran up the wooden staircase and up half the stairs as they crumbled in front of her while she passed the landing. "Well, that's not good," Red said, and she looked back at the steps behind her and saw Malumclaw. She was trapped. The wolf made his way toward her one step at a time, enjoying the aggravation that it caused her. "I've been waiting over a decade for this moment," Malumclaw growled. Oh my, what big claws you have," Red said, trembling. "All the better to maul you with, my dear," Malumclaw said. Red never expected to die like this. She had always imagined it would be back in her castle with tons of hers and Jack's children by her bedside. "Oh my, what big teeth you have," Red said. "All the better to bite you with, my dear," Malumclaw said. "Are you all done? Yeah? You're all done? No more?" He was just a few feet away from her now, his back arched, ready to pounce. And suddenly, a quiet whistling came from outside the castle. A cannonball crashed through the wall and directly into Malumclaw. The stairs collapsed and it... Honey. Baby girl. The next restock is this Saturday, and it is, I think I set it for 5 p.m. I have to double check. But it is for Patreon only because it is a very small restock. Just for anyone hearing that information. Hey. You want to watch Mommy read? You want to sit like this and watch Mommy read? Here, you want to hold this? You're very welcome, Madison. You're very welcome. Okay, we're going to finish this one, right? If there's anything left after Patreon buy stuff, I'll restock it for the public. Suddenly, a quiet whistling came from outside the castle, and a cannonball crashed through the wall and directly into Malumclaw. You've been waiting forever. Oh, well, you should just join Patreon, because your membership fee pays for a slime. So, if you're looking to get slime anyway, you'll get slime regardless. The stairs collapsed, and the wolf was knocked into the next room. If he survived it, he wouldn't be in one piece. "Oh, my," Red said, and she... Ooh! Hi, sweetheart. Oh, we're a little gushy, huh? We have a little bit of spitty uppy. Yeah. Just a little bit. Here, let's get this off. You don't want this on. This is not good. Let's get this off. There you go. There you go. Yeah, it's off now. It's off. It's off. The steps on either side of her were gone. She was truly stuck now. The landing started to teeter and the wood started to crumble. "Oh my, oh my, oh my," Red screamed before she fell. The banister collapsed. Hey, you're okay. You're okay. She grasped onto the banister of the stair landing as if her life depended on it, and the steps on either side of her were gone. She was truly stuck now. The landing started to teeter, and the wood below it was starting to crumble. "Oh my, oh my, oh my!" Red screamed, and the banister collapsed, and Red fell. She screamed the entire way down. Just a few seconds before Red was about to hit the floor. Hey, ha-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo. Just a few seconds before Red was about to hit the floor, Froggy jumped into the air and caught the young queen, and they both landed safely, courtesy of his strong frog legs. Honey, you can't scream through this part, okay? You have to let Mommy say this part, okay? Yeah. Yeah. "You saved my life," Red said with big and thankful eyes. I don't believe that we've been formally introduced, Your Majesty," Froggy said. "My name is..." But the frog never got to finish. Red was repeatedly kissing his cheeks. He turned dark green. Who knew that a frog could blush? Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. Excuse me. Hello, this is Mommy's tripod. Hello, let go, please. Thank you. Wow. Wowie zowie. What happened here? Sorry, you guys. Hey, 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 hey. Boom. What's this? What's this? What's this? Is that a llama? A llama? Very nice. She said you will listen to me or else. Ha ba 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 ba. Froggy never got to finish because Red was repeatedly kissing his cheeks and he turned dark green. Who knew that a frog could blush? The castle began to shake from more cannons as they were fired. "They've started to attack," Froggy said. "We have to find Connor and Alex and get out of here." All right. So that is a scene break, and because it's a scene break, we're going to go ahead and pause because she is not in the mood to finish this, which is fine. We've gotten to read a good amount today. I think we can be very proud of ourselves for as much as we've read. You did start to defy gravity. You want up? Do you want to sit up? Oh, wow, big girl. Who's a big girl? Wow. She did great, and we'll read more tomorrow. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go. We love you guys. Say bye. Say bye. Can you say bye? Like this. Go. Ba 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 ba. You wanna do your ba ba bas? Ba ba ba. Go. Ah. No, you don't wanna do it. Ah. 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 Oh, burp. Good burp. Can you say ah? She was trying to make you seasick. Yeah, it's true. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.